Hey, Julia.
Hey.
So I was gonna say before we get started here, I want to say three. We agreed to do 3 o'clock, and it is 3 o'clock on the dot.
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah.
I
I'm a
love.
punctual
I
person.
was gonna say I get the same way. So okay, immediately I'm like, I know you've already told me this, but if you hadn't, I would have been like, oh, Julia is clearly from Brazil. So let's see. I have I made a list. I don't know if you can see this. I made a list for today because
Yeah.
I get the same way of I'm punctual, but also I will tell you I get nervous about things, and I sort
Mm-hmm.
of, you never know which way it's gonna go. I guess it's sort of the inner Boy
Yeah,
Scout in
yeah.
me
Mm-hmm.
where I'm like
No, I get it.
I gotta be prepared for everything because literally I know you can't see. I'm on a little bit of a hybrid setup, so I have this is my webcam here, and then right
Mm-hmm.
next to it I have the normal camera that I use. So,
Yeah, that was my roommate.
oh, I remember those days.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I actually my freshman year I had a great roommate whose name I was gonna say was Dan, but he continues to exist, so it is. So let's see. Okay, like to circle back to what I don't know why I'm holding a pen. To circle back to what I was saying, I know you have a little bit more of a view of the background that I like to crop in on
Yeah.
because it is a complete mess, but
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
have
this room is a mess too.
I know I said choose four triggers, but I have at least 12 right here.
Yeah, I have so many things around me actually.
That is okay. So I
Yeah, yeah. I have like my things for engineering classes, so a lot of circuits. And in this side I have all my makeup setup.
I love
So I
that.
have a lot of things.
I mean, my makeup setup is significantly smaller. I mean, I would if I knew how to do makeup, I would look
Mhm.
actually better. So let's see. All right, let's get it rolling here because this is I don't know. There's well, do you listen to podcasts first of all?
Yes, yes, I
Okay,
do.
perfect. I was hoping you did because the long opening where almost nothing happens is such a part of the podcast format. And
Mm-hmm.
I'd be my favorite shows are these long form ones with comedians that I really like.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be 10 minutes of them just talking are the microphones on, whatever, and in my mind I don't know what it takes to record these things. So I'm like, guys,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to
Yeah.
spend 10 minutes talking about is the mic on, but I've had all this stuff running for 5 minutes now, so I've
Mm-hmm.
done now that I'm on the other end of it, I've done a complete 180 about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I
Have
get
Have you
it.
ever recorded a podcast before?
I have not. This is my
I did.
this
I have a podcast.
um actually this is my actually now that I think about it, I have had before I had this YouTube channel, I had another one where I have a friend who was also in architecture, and we did
Mm-hmm.
this kind of snack podcast. And it was, I'll be the first to tell you, it was absolutely terrible. There was literally no redeeming factors about it. But basically, the conceit of the show was I'd just every single time tell these more in-depth stories about meeting celebrities who I've never met before, and the show would be an hour, and the whole conceit of the show was we'd talk about the snack for 5 minutes, and that was it.
Yeah. I used to have a podcast. It was a project for high school. We used to talk about women in science. Yeah, but we had to stop that because everybody went to college
Yeah,
and we don't have time for that anymore.
exactly. See, that's much your my podcast. I stopped doing it. Your podcast was, I'm sure, much more valuable than me reviewing you know pretend this would be a box of cookies or something.
Mm-hmm.
If it was Chips
But that's
Ahoy,
fun.
it is, but Nobody really wants to listen to me go hard about the typography of the packaging for like 5 minutes,
I'm sure some people do.
maybe. So let's see. I got okay. So what triggers have you brought us today?
Okay, I have this brush.
Oh, love it.
Yeah, it has a fan shape. I have my water bottle. I like it because it has this
Oh,
kind of sound.
that is so good.
I like it.
I love that.
I got it from Walmart.
Oh, I love Walmart.
Yeah, me too. But I can't go there every week because I always spend a lot of
Oh
money
my god, I feel
there
you.
to buy like uh useless stuff. And I got these earrings
Oh, that's
for
gonna.
Halloween because I'm gonna dress up as a fairy, and it
Oh,
has, I don't know if you can see it properly, but they look like dragonfly
oh, I see it. Yeah, I
wings.
see it.
Yeah, they're a little green
Oh, those are so
and
cool.
they make a nice sound.
Oh, that
I
I
don't know if you
love.
can hear that.
I can. I love the creativity of everything.
Thank you. And then my these are facial wipes that I use to remove makeup because they have micellar water, and I like
Yes.
the sound, the crinkle sound.
Oh, that's like such a good variety. I love it. Okay, so have you ever done an ASMR video before?
No, this is
Okay.
my first
Okay.
time doing that, and I
So,
have no idea how to
perfect.
do this.
Perfect. It's easy. We'll delve into it together. So, I have my PS4 controller sound. I think it's going to be really good. I love controller
Oh,
sounds.
I like it. I like the sound.
I have I have my wallet cuz I wanted to bring that back on. I just there's it just makes such like it's kind of like a fake suede material and it just like
Mm-hmm.
has a good there's a good sound signature there. Otherwise I have this microphone booster box that's like it's good. I really like it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
normally I throw out the packaging to everything, but like it's a good sound when I'm just like, no, I can't throw away
Mm-hmm.
this box that I don't need because I have to make sounds with it. So I do have my makeup brushes and then some other
Yeah, I have too
these
many brushes here.
like these also came with them and I all right.
Yeah.
Are they for
You have,
blending?
yeah, yeah. You have
Oh,
so
I
many
knew
more
it.
than I do.
I
I
knew
have
it.
only one.
Right. I see this is what I need to like put on my face in the morning.
Yeah.
Just sort of get everything all together. But then I have I've had this phone now for a while. And
What is it?
I have a couple of cameras that
Oh, oh, it comes in the package.
yeah, have you seen like do I have one behind me? As you can see, I'm not the most flexible person, but have you seen like these sort of
Yes.
things? Yeah, it's the foam that's from
Yeah.
in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually have one with me now from the engineering class I was talking about.
Oh, that's so good. What kind of
Yeah, yeah.
engineering?
Biomedical.
I
We are working with Arduino circuits.
I have heard of them, but like I have no idea.
No, I don't have any idea of how this works actually because I've never had coding classes in my life.
I literally let's see.
Yeah, it's been hard, but
I
I'll try
had
to figure it out.
let's see. I'm gonna make some sounds here too while we talk. But oh, that's like a. I love the creativity of the sounds and like the usage of
Can you
both.
hear it? Because I can't.
It's a very subtle
Faint
sound.
sound?
Maybe if I like shut up, people will be able to hear it. Yeah, it's a very subtle sound.
And I also like this sound.
Yeah.
My nails are very short, so I can do like the sound to be very high, but
Mm-hmm.
still.
Oh, that's a good one. So like typically the way that I'll do it is like you start with something and like you kind of just move it around and I don't know. I think so much of it is just like a by feel sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're recording different sounds, it's like let me put the headphones on. Let me see if I like the barometer for me is like if I'm relaxed recording it, I know it's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a really good sound.
When it's funny because when I got it for the first time, I saw that, and I didn't buy it actually because of how it looks. I was just wondering what the sound would be like.
Yes.
It's actually a pretty nice earring.
I like it. The only like there's a Walmart kind of near me, and like this is like completely like hipster, my hipster nature, but it's the only place near me that sells like film for like a reasonable price. Because they still have like this one film in a 3 pack that's not like absolutely insane. Oh, I have. Now that I look around, I have this too. Let's see if we can.
I like this sound.
I like a lot of the brushing sounds. I tend to lean in sort of a softer direction.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know what your
Yeah,
personal favorite triggers are, but like,
yeah. I prefer softer
yeah,
sounds.
definitely.
I don't like aggressive
Oh,
triggers. I don't like them. I prefer the gentle sounds.
yes, same. There's something about like the really aggressive sounds that like make me like legitimately angry.
They make me anxious.
Yeah.
Really.
I don't know. It's all like I find like people making ASMR YouTube videos like since the like in the brain like here's obviously I know nothing about the brain other than like how close like feelings of love and hate are, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like people that's part of the reason that people either like really are into something ASMR related or are like really not into it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually considering minoring in neuroscience. Maybe that's something I'll research about.
You
I
could.
don't know.
That would
I
be
think
cool.
that's very interesting.
I think like the research into like sounds is definitely picked up in like the past maybe 5 years from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the first ASMR video that you remember watching?
Mm. I think because before getting into ASMR, I used to like to search for rain sounds or fire crackling sounds on
Yep.
YouTube, and then I got an actual ASMR video recommended for
Yes.
me. I think it was from ASMR Magic.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, and then I clicked on it, and I really liked it,
Oh, that's so good.
and that's how I got into ASMR.
I love that. So have you had like ASMR experiences from just video or like out in the world too?
I started getting like actual tingles when I'm very concentrated on what I'm doing, like writing
Yes.
and this kind of stuff. I stop for a moment and just like ignore whatever I'm doing, just focus on the sound.
Yeah, definitely. That, yeah, that's kind of like, I mean, for me, like, well, I'll sort of like, I haven't talked about this before on the channel, but I'll sort of circle back around to it. Is just like, I've always, there have been certain scenarios where I've just always felt like, the tingles and just kind of thought that it was normal and everyone felt that. And like, I specifically remember like, I'm not the most religious person in the world, but like my mom when I was a kid, maybe like 6, would bring me to church, and like when you were going up to get communion, the priest would like put his hand on the top of your head, and like
Mm-hmm.
the tingles for me were like so intense, like
Oh yes.
from like up from the top of my scalp all the way to like my feet, and like I had
Mm-hmm.
trouble like walking back after because it was so strong.
Yeah, yeah. I also have that because there's a joke that every single girl in high school they had the experience of the girl sitting um
Oh, like hair play.
behind you, yeah, playing with your hair. I actually used to sleep when people did that to me.
Yes. Oh, me too. It's like if somebody like runs their fingers through my hair, I will just
Mm-hmm.
it's like a cheat code to like putting a lot of people to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that. Let's see. I don't know. Like, so eventually, like when I started growing up, I mean, I assumed everyone kind of felt the way that I did, and it wouldn't be for like years afterward before like I would find ASMR videos on YouTube, and you go, oh, like that's what this is. Because there were the unintentional videos like the Bob Ross stuff, and the first kind of intentional video that I saw on YouTube was maybe around, I'm gonna age myself here, but I graduated high school in 2010,
Mm-hmm.
and so the first videos that I found online were like, well, I mean, I was always an anxious kid. I feel like a lot of us are, just because like certain things happen to you, and you're not like, you're sort of at the mercy of it, and you're just like not in control. So I found like the first videos that I would listen to, like maybe 2007 or 2008, and like it's been really cool to like see how it's grown over the years, and just like how technical and creative people
Mm-hmm.
have gotten. Because it used to be just like people in iMovie on their like oh, what was that laptop that Apple had before the MacBook Pros? Like the do you remember those like plastic Mac laptops?
I don't think I do.
Oh, oh, I normally I don't. I mean, I joke about being like super old, but this is like the first time that I
Uh-huh.
felt it. Oh, I forget what they're called, but it was the precursor to the MacBooks now, before they were like premium and aluminum. And it would just be somebody in iMovie with their headphones and forget that they had to duplicate the audio channels, so you'd only hear it like in your left ear.
Uh-huh.
It was funny. Okay, so let's see. This this I'm gonna circle back around to my other live stream that you watched of
Mm-hmm.
where you challenge. I don't know why I said it. I don't know why I set it up as like you challenging me. Like literally, you could not have been nicer about
No, you
like
did a nice job.
I said your last name was Squisado, which is not correct.
Yeah.
Squisito. I was close.
Yeah, you want me to tell you how
Yes.
it's
Yes.
pronounced? Iskisato.
See, I took okay.
Yeah, you don't pronounce the U. It's just key.
I see. Okay, so it's more like that. That's interesting. So I took up. I mean, I know you don't speak Spanish. It's Portuguese, but like I took
Yeah.
up into Spanish 4, and remember like none of it. Like literally.
Yeah. I can actually I can understand Spanish. My mom is fluent in Spanish. Um I don't really talk in Spanish, so my pronunciation like is very bad. But
Oh, you think
if
yours
I'm
is bad?
reading, mm?
You think yours is bad?
Yeah.
You have not heard mine. It's the worst.
Yeah. I
Horrific.
mean, I think it's I don't know, like the R sounds. are kind of hard in Spanish for
Mm-hmm.
me because I actually went to speech therapy for like 2 or 3 years when I was younger. I still struggle with
Mm-hmm.
a lot of sounds. Um, but yeah, I mean, the words in Spanish and Portuguese they are very similar, so
Yes, there's definitely some
I can
crossover.
understand.
My sister actually had to go to speech therapy when she was a kid because, like, the thing that she really struggled with was, like, for example, in girl, the I and the R sound together. And when she would say it, it would, like, she would develop, like, this almost phantom, like, British accent by just, like, how she had to say it for her to, like, get the words out. I mean, she doesn't say it now, but like it was pretty funny.
Yeah, yeah. I used to struggle with. I couldn't say the R sounds. So there are a couple of words in Portuguese that like. Mm, let me try to think about an example.
Yes.
So strawberry in Portuguese is morango,
Yes.
and I couldn't say the R sound, so I just said molango. I
Oh,
switched
okay.
the
Okay.
R with the L sound.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I imagine that, like, I mean, certain words people kind of pick up on it, but like once the R sound disappears, it's not like ideal.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I also have. So, what would you say? Like, I like part of the reason that I wanted to start this podcast in, you know, to begin with is just like I like talking to people and seeing, just obviously like you watch this channel and like kind of it's sort of out of curiosity for me of like what is the audience actually like rather than just seeing names on
Mm-hmm.
a screen, but also like just talking to people who have like had different experiences and are like in different portions of their life and like kind of seeing what's going on. Like, obviously, like I'm not in college. I was
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know. Here's where I'm gonna sound like my dad. I don't know what the kids are doing these days. But what would you say the biggest difference between like the U.S. and Brazil is?
mm. Um, I don't think we are. They are very different countries because Brazil had a lot of influence from the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
back in the maybe 50s and
Yeah,
60s.
that's right.
We obviously are more in terms of how we how how we meet new people because Americans are very cold.
Yeah,
Like you're not very open.
yeah. I was just gonna. It's so funny that I would
Yeah, yeah. You're very closed up, closed people.
like in
Um,
my mind, like I know like I want to give you the room to talk, but in my mind that was the first thing that I went to.
yeah, yeah. Um, Personally, for me, I come from I actually consider myself as half Italian
Mm-hmm.
because my father's family, like the entire family, comes from Italy. Um, and it's crazy because usually you would think Italian people to be a little bit more like this, like more affectionate and
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
But in my family, we are not like that. We are actually very distant
Yeah.
as like from people, and so with the rest of my friends, they are much more affectionate than I am
Yes.
when meeting new people,
Yes.
which is crazy. Um, because Brazil is, yeah, you probably know that. Like, we had Portuguese colonization, but we also had many other
Yes.
types of colonization. So, my father's family come from Italian colonization. I also have German blood and Irish blood
I guess
from my
okay.
mom's side. So it's a mixture of cultures.
That's like
And
I don't know. That's really cool. For me, it's just like everyone in my family like take the people like who out in the world get burnt most easily by the sun and put them all together, and that's basically my lineage. So it's like Irish, English, Dutch,
Mm-hmm.
Welsh, like
Yeah,
all of that area.
yeah. I was born a ginger, which
What?
is crazy too. I was born a ginger.
Actually?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
But my hair got darker throughout the years, and I also did some things in my hair, and it got this
I gotcha.
darker brown color.
I think it's like
But yeah,
from, the development of a soul, and then your hair color is like, oh no, we need to that's
yeah,
we can't do the red
yeah.
hair thing. We need
The
to
same
change.
happened to my brother, but now he's a more like darkish blonde hair.
I
Because he's
yes.
my half brother.
Yes. I
But yeah,
actually, if you can picture it, I actually used to have blonde hair, and like I know it's a little bit.
your hair, it's pretty much blonde for me.
It used to be like a lot lighter. So like when I get outside, like in the summertime, like it will lighten up a little bit. So like
Hmm.
it's probably at as light as it will be, and then once it gets towards the winter time, it starts to get like a little bit darker brown. So for me, it's interesting because I've met my fair share of people from Brazil, and like you were saying, in like the 1950s, we thought like brutalist architecture over there was a good thing, and
Hmm.
then we were like, whoops, horribly missed the mark on that. I mean, some of the buildings were cool, but otherwise, I don't know if you know about. There's an au pair exchange program since like
Hmm.
I'm near like New York City, near-ish, like half an hour away from New York City. So a lot of
Hmm.
people kind of, it's fairly desirable to want to come over here for a couple of years, sort of work a
Hmm.
little bit, be able to study. And so it's just like in my mind, it was like, okay, like everyone is like, not that I'm not a friendly person. It's just I will be the first to admit to you, like I am a little bit closed off
Hmm.
when people meet me in person. Like this is a little bit different because like when you sort of know, like I know sort of like how this is going to go. I know what to prepare for. Like
Hmm.
it gives me sort of like a set
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like kind of a
No,
guide in that way.
hmm,
But
that's
like,
completely understandable. I'm actually like that too. I'm not a very open person.
yeah. So one of my really good friends, he's like super social, like could talk to a wall for like an hour and like come away with like being like that was a great conversation. And it's like, dude, the wall didn't say anything, but like just over the years, just like watching him, I'm almost taking like mental notes. I'm like, his name is Jonas, so I'm like, just like watch it. Like here's the kind of person I am. Like he's off talking to someone, and I'm kind of like standing on the side. I'm like, oh, like he's asking them like this and that. Oh my god, he's keeping the conversation going. How's he doing that?
Yeah, I feel the same about my friends because I'm a full introverted and they
Yes.
are full extroverted.
Did you do
It's
the
crazy.
Brit? Here's an interesting question for you. It sort of gives me like an illumination into your personality. Have you done the Briggs Myers test?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, I knew it. Okay. What
yes.
are you?
Yeah. I think I told you on the stream it was INTJ.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do.
And you say it was the
I'm
inventor.
yes.
I know INTJ as the architect.
Well, it depends on the Briggs Meyer. The test sort of has a couple of different names for each one. So, I mean, I am an INTJ also, so I
Hmm.
know all about this. But they call it the inventor or the architect. But basically, it sort of centers around, here's a person who's a little bit more analytical, sort of sees the
Hmm.
world in more of an organized way, and in doing new tasks will like say, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this. And it's sort of a little bit different than people who maybe are I don't want to say more normal, but like you and I see the world in, I mean, it is more of an analytical way, but where it's sort of in a cause and effect way, where people
Mm-hmm.
don't like, maybe, I don't want to speak for you, but like for my mind, I'll say like, if I do this, either this or this will happen, and I have to have a plan. If
Mm-hmm.
that, or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this,
I'm
that,
exactly like
yeah,
that. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
So let's see.
yeah.
I also,
Uh, I also have this palette. It's my favorite palette.
I
Yeah, it's a
love
very big one.
the typography on that. The 24.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. And it has 24 colors.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
yeah, and they're very pretty.
My I have like no experience with makeup, but like just in sort of like watching ASMR videos on YouTube, like there will be certain like makeup videos that make their way into, into what I'm watching.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's the only way I know anything about makeup, like blending.
Yeah,
Oh, what's that? Hold on, what's that other one where like you're like shaping the face? Contouring.
contouring. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason like how I know anything
Yeah.
about makeup.
I
So
have so many brushes here. I have like all types of brushes and with all different sizes. So
cuz like
yeah.
conceptually, like even sometimes like when I record videos with these, like after I turn off the camera, I'm like, actually this feels really nice. I'm going to do this for like a couple
Mm-hmm.
minutes.
Mm-hmm. My grandmother, she used to be a hairstylist and a makeup artist. So I remember myself as a kid. Um, I used to sleep over at her house a lot,
Yes.
and I've always been a very anxious kid. So
I
one
feel
thing
that.
that she would do to make me relax and get some sleep is brushing over my
Mhm.
face and like here in the back of the neck. It
Oh,
was yeah, I have good memories of that.
that's a good one. I have some of the best well, I don't know why I'm setting up this way. My grandparents are still alive, but I have some of the best memories with them when, so they used to live in New York, and then they got a condo in Florida. So they spent like half the year, um, you know, here, and then half the year in Florida, and then was just alternate. Like when it got cold here, they'd go to Florida. When it got warmer, they'd come back. So we'd go over to my grandparents' house on Sundays, and like I have the best memories of like just relaxing with my grandparents and like the TV on in the background and like the lights were off. So like you'd get the soft light from the TV, and then so I turned 31 last month, and I still, when I see my grandmother, I still have her like do like the nails on my back,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
cuz it's just
Mm-hmm.
it's I don't know, there's something about it that's just so good.
Yeah. Also, my mom would do that when I was younger too. I was like feeling her nails like in my hands,
Yes.
like this,
Yes.
and also in my scalp.
Oh, I love that too.
Yeah.
This is like what I think about a lot is just like I'm always like I need someone to record with, so like I can sort of like take experiences that were important to me and then just kind of like capture them on video in a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
because there's like running your hands through the scalp, like even like someone who like kind of like massages like the upper portion of your arm and like down your back is just like
Yeah.
I don't know, I just feel like there's a lot of potential there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I also have these gems.
Oh, love that.
I'll probably use that to do my fairy makeup.
And I
It has
love,
these pearls,
that's so
and
good.
these ones are holographic. So
Oh, That's so
Like,
cool.
yeah. So yeah, I really like that.
That is so good. I love that. I love the sound of the clock that's also going off in the background.
Yeah, yeah. There's a church here, um, very close to the campus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually like it because it rings every day at 6 o'clock, and it's very loud.
Yes. I will say maybe it's more enjoyable for me because I don't like like
Yeah.
it's
Mm-hmm.
still new and I'm not
Yeah.
having to listen to it every day.
Mhm. In the first days, it's nice, but then you get sick of it.
I yeah. The town that I used to live in, there was like if a fire was happening, there'd be a fire whistle, and basically the fire department was very small, so it was a set of codes, and almost like Morse code, just with like it would go off like maybe two or three times and then pause, and then basically there was a code that to the volunteer firefighters would tell them where the fire was. And in like the first time it went off, you're like, oh, this is new and interesting. But like when it just keeps going, and then they're having to do this sequence of codes that maybe last for like 5 minutes at a time, you're like, there's like, you almost want to be like, we have technology. It's not like the 1950s anymore. We can make this happen a little bit more efficiently and quieter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can start to hear now like it's like why
Yeah,
it
yeah,
might
yeah,
not be the best.
yeah.
So
And it's always the same song.
yes.
Always.
Oh, nothing worse than like no variety. Like this
Yeah,
bell.
maybe I don't know. Maybe they could change. Like each
Clear.
day is a different
I mean,
song.
listen. Clearly, this bell needs like the influence of like Spotify daily mixes and just like
Yes,
switch it up.
yes. Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Speaking of music, what are your tastes? What are you into?
Um, I really like alternative rock,
I'm in.
indie.
I'm into it. So like,
Um, I also like. I love lo-fi.
oh, I'm into it.
Love lo-fi.
It is
And I also like a little bit of classical music because
sure.
I actually used to play the flute. I still do it, but I was part of my city's orchestra for like 10 years.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, I got very influenced by classical music and also MPB, which is a Brazilian rhythm,
Mm-hmm.
and also I forgot the name now. Bossa Nova. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. I don't know. It's just interesting. Maybe all of us like I was just talking about this with one of my friends the other day. But like you always as a person think of like, I'm a unique person. There's nobody like me or whatever. And then like as you get older, you're like, statistically there are probably people out there that are very similar, and like the only difference
Mhm.
between like me and them is like, let's say I drive like a blue car and they drive like a white one, but it's the same car, it's just a different color,
Mhm.
and like that's the one thing that's different. So I'm as I talk to like you and more people who are also INTJs, I'm just like, I'm pretty sure we're all the same person and just no one is connecting the dots.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
from
I
a
feel like that too.
yeah
I
for
don't know a lot of INTJs. I think
it's
nobody from my family is. Not none of my friends are.
it is one of the more rare ones, so that's why I've always been like, oh, I'm so unique or whatever, because like I, I don't
Yeah.
I don't know, there's so much for me an identity of like where you sort of want to forge your own path and do things that are maybe like
Hmm.
different from people, and like
Yeah.
in my creative work, like I make videos now, I do photos, and I'm always looking for like ways to make it a little bit different, and to like be like for us recording right now, when I know it's a good video, when I look at it and I'm reviewing it before I post it, I go, this is me. Like
Mm-hmm.
this video can only come from me. I mean, I'm not saying they're the best videos in the world. Like,
But I think you have a very unique style of doing ASMR videos.
thank you. I appreciate that. It comes from, I feel like I sort of have a unique insight into it only because I've been like watching like from from the moment that the first ASMR videos went onto YouTube. So I've
Mm-hmm.
just like I don't know, I feel like I'm in a unique position to like have the history of it, to like see everything that's happened, to like um I don't know, maybe in some ways to try to make it go in different directions and like what the next level of it is. So like I was like, what if we do ASMR with other people who subscribe to this channel and we make sounds together and talk?
Mm-hmm.
What, it's just like, what could that be like? And then like one of the reasons that I started this channel is just like I want to challenge myself to get outside of my comfort zone and the things that I normally do. So I'm like, let's talk to people. Let's do it. Let's just see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, can you hear that?
I can
Now the
hear.
bells are going
Yeah, I
crazy.
can hear a little
Yeah.
bit. I mean, it's a nice background noise and sort of complements everything that we're doing. So
Yeah.
it definitely works. But
Mm-hmm.
like, um, I mean, back to like my theory. I was gonna say patent it, but it's not really a patentable thing. I'm gonna copyright this theory of that all INTJs are the exact same person and they're just like in different bodies because like, music wise, alternative for sure, indie definitely, like honestly, I listen to like a ton of indie bands and like get IPAs while I see them perform, like non-ironically, and like there is there is sort of this hipster label that I've been fighting forever, and like because like part of the hipsterism is people like listening to vinyl again,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like not everyone. I think I looked it up, and like even the vinyl pressings from today are based on digital recordings. So I was gonna say like I got to be more on my game. Like I gotta out hipster these hipsters. So like to outdo vinyl, like I listen to I just gotta say to them like, yo, I listen to Silence on CDs. Like be more niche than that. Like
Yeah.
so much of like my I don't want to say identity because it's not identity, but like my impulse is to just go like, let's go more niche. Like if there's something that I can do to just get like into a niche area of something already niche, like I'll be all up in that.
Mm-hmm.
So like, do you know Hippocampus?
Uh, I know because you mentioned on the
Yeah.
stream, and I went to look to
Oh, they're so good.
to try it. Yeah.
I that's my favorite. I love them.
Okay, I just messed up my headband,
Oh no.
but still, I think it's easy to. Oh, I just had to put the string back. No worries. I also got this
Oh,
for
that's
my costume.
that's really
Um,
good.
yeah, it's a headband.
So this is like all it's interesting that we're talking about this because like literally there's a friend of mine and she's like complaining how the fairy costumes that are available like off the shelf don't look like um just look very poor quality.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like now that I'm thinking about it, I gotta message her after this and be like, maybe just go like custom. Maybe go to Walmart, see what they
Mm-hmm.
have, and I'll just be like,
Yeah, I
yo,
got my
yes.
fairy wings from Amazon.
Oh, I gotta pass on this info. Um, Walmart, Amazon, and just done.
Mm-hmm.
and really go
Yeah,
for
and
it.
I also got my dress from Shein. Uh, yeah,
Okay,
it took a while to arrive, but uh,
I have heard of them.
mm-hmm.
I do know what that is. I'm in the know. I know things. I don't know why I'm so
Yeah.
like always part of it is just like when it comes to like pop culture, it's just like doing my own things take up like so much of my time that like I'm so out of the know. But like the thing that really shocked me recently, actually, you know of the Try Guys, right? Or do you not?
Try
The
Guys.
Try Guys
Ah, yeah,
on
yeah.
YouTube.
It's is that a show?
Yeah, well, it's basically to give you like a brief history of what it was. It was four people that worked at BuzzFeed, and they like tried things as part of a series on that, and eventually like it did so well, and their chemistry like completely melded them together that they went off and started their own thing. But one of them,
Mm-hmm.
like, I really loved their videos, but I've fallen off with them recently because like like there are some creators that you watch and eventually they end up putting out like it's just like so much content that like I'm busy, I have things to do, like there are people that I want to support but I can't watch everything, and it's just like
Mm-hmm.
you sort of put it on the back burner and then eventually you stop watching altogether. But
Yeah, yeah.
so one of them, like, the thing that really shocked me was one of them like just like cheated on his wife, and I don't
Okay.
it was like it how do I phrase this? Like his sort of like I've never really loved him, and like his personality to me just kind of seemed a little bit fake. So now that he's not like in their videos anymore, I might give it like I should try to watch again and see what it does for like watchability
Mm-hmm.
wise. But I don't know, it really surprised me because he did not seem like the kind of person that would do that, and sort of like everyone's been coping with it. And normally like
Yeah.
I don't get too upset about these things because it's just you never know what people are like you see people on video for example, but you don't truly know exactly what they're
Mm-hmm.
like. So
Yeah.
these kind of things happen. So there are certain people though, if did something like that, I'm just like I'd be devastated.
Mm-hmm.
But I try not to like just sort of remove myself from it and just be like there are people out in the world doing their thing and there's an overlapping
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it. Um, I'm not a person who I know that a lot of people feel this kind of parasocial
Yes,
um,
I was just gonna say parasocial.
relationship with people they like they see
Yes,
on YouTube and all. I don't really feel that.
I think it's
Um,
best not to because you
yeah.
can sort of evaluate things objectively. Like there's a crossover between someone's personality and what they're doing that I will enjoy, but you
Mm-hmm.
say, you know what, I just it's best not to attach myself to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've heard about people who like you know these events like Comic Con and
Yes.
all of
Yeah,
that.
sure.
So I've heard of people who were so excited to meet the creators, the creators that they like.
Yes.
They actually felt depressed
Yeah.
after actually meeting them because they were like, "This is an entirely different person from the
Yes.
one that I was picturing in my head."
Yes. That's it. It's interesting that you said that because for a while I felt like there are some people when I was younger who were very important to me and like helped me, um, sort of build the person that I am now. And you take influences from people, and there's just a handful of people that I feel like I can never meet because I need them to be a certain way for me. And if
Mm-hmm.
they're not like that, then like it almost takes down the foundation that you spent so long building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to get my. Okay. I'm gonna try to make some sounds with my circuit,
Oh, that's
but
so cool.
yeah. So yeah, I had to build this. It's not gonna work because I have to connect this to my computer. But the thing is that uh, so what we had to do for our homework was to make the LED
Yes.
to light up. But you can only press the button once, and once you press the button and you press it again, the LED can't switch off.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I've told this story before, so I'll keep it brief, but like one of my really good friends is in like computer software and programming, and
Mm-hmm.
like that whole world to me, I just don't understand it, and like it devolves into me just like trying to fight the computer to get it to do something which it never will,
Mm-hmm.
and it just gets so
Mm-hmm.
frustrated.
Oh, by the way, we were talking about architecture on the stream and all.
Oh yeah, we were.
So this is gonna be so silly, but
I love it already.
okay. So I have a Minecraft page on
I
Instagram.
am so into this. I can't. I
uh,
I
yeah,
didn't in my
I
mind
love architecture, but I suck at
in
drawing.
in my
But
mind.
I love building in Minecraft.
Oh my god. Let me.
Okay, and I'm kind of okay. Don't be scared now, but I'm kind of like I have a big page. I
No,
have a lot of followers.
I'm not scared. I am so like I was gonna say Minecraft when you said that.
This, yeah, because this is so random.
I love it. I'm
Yeah.
so into it. I'll I'll take you. I did something very similar. I'll take you. You're that level of nerdiness. I will raise you. So what I did in Minecraft was I'd go into the creative mode, and like
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't like satisfying enough for me because when you're in architecture, like the way that I draw, like I use like actual program, like at work,
Uh-huh.
like I do 3D models, renderings, like
Mm-hmm.
I draw out like construction documents of like something that you'd give a
Mm-hmm.
contractor
Yeah,
to
sounds
build.
like something that I will have to do
Yeah.
for the next years because biomedical engineering needs a lot of imaging
Yes.
for biosystems and all.
Yes, you definitely will come across it. But what I did is in my 3D software, I made all of the Minecraft blocks and I brought in their texture, made it custom, and then
Oh,
as a
that is so
block, I
cool.
built maybe I can find the screenshots of it. If I look, it's on an old hard drive that I have, but I'd make the model of it in Google SketchUp, and then I would bring it into Minecraft, like go into Minecraft and actually build it from the plans that I made. And like since I did it in SketchUp, like I could do the plans, I could cut through it for the sections, I could look at the elevations,
Mm-hmm.
and it just I don't know, it made it much easier for me to like build things that I actually wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I'm having a kind of a similar experience because I've never actually worked with circuits before, but my cousin and I, we always like it to build automatic stuff in Minecraft. So we
yes,
use a lot of redstone systems and all. Um, I like to think um, how that can help me to understand how the circuits work.
yes, there is
So yeah,
like
it's kind of nice.
I don't get too far into the redstone. There's like a couple of redstone doors that I know how to build, but like from what I understand, it's pretty accurate about like how circuitry actually works.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you want to tell people about your page so they can find you? Like, what's the name?
Yeah, yeah. So it's called bees with moss because bees are my favorite mobs in Minecraft,
Yes,
and moss is my favorite like decorating block.
I like it.
Uh, okay, I'll try to show you. Maybe I can show you it on camera. So I work with a lot of retexturing of blocks.
Oh, I love that.
I actually use a texture by a Japanese creator.
I was gonna say like,
She's called Mizuno, but I do my own modifications and I'm very into cottagecore stuff.
Yes.
So I build a lot of cottages, and I try to do it as realistic as I can as I can make
I
it be. Uh, okay,
I am
okay, I'll try to make it.
I
Can you see
am
that?
I can kind of see that. I am so into this though.
Yeah.
I was gonna say definitely send me to that. Send me that after this, and I can put it in the description when this gets posted.
Do you want me to write the name
Yeah,
here in the chat?
yeah.
Okay.
I am
I
going to.
also have a Tumblr, but after I switch it to Instagram, I don't actually use it anymore. But
Yes.
it's still there. If someone uses Tumblr,
Oh, that's so good. I'm gonna look this up right now as like I have my camera in front of me, and I think it'll come up.
I also really like the. I'm very into RPG, so I really like fantasy stuff, and I always try to give this fantasy vibes to my builds.
Yes. So for everyone, it's not gonna. Oh, there we go. Look at that. I love like. There's something about like sort of these. Yeah, that definitely, as far as Minecraft goes, that definitely looks much more realistic than the base game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, me being into aesthetic. Imagine that. Very, very unexpected from me. There's a lot going on here because it's kind of like um different cottage styles into like
Mm-hmm.
there's one that's I just saw that's very colonial.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's not just well I mean it is sort of in a cottage form but in different architectural styles. Like this one's very Victorian
Yeah.
that I'm looking at, and then there's this one on like like literally a tower that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Oh, uh, it's one of the first posts, right?
The tower one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was.
Yeah, it was inspired by Tangled, the movie.
Yes, I have seen Tangled actually.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's making me want to get it back at like looking at your page right now. It makes me want to get back into Minecraft. Like I found that I would just keep building things and not like really interact with the rest of the game. Like
That's what I actually do. I don't really play it like
yeah,
multiplayer anymore. I used to do a lot of to play a lot of multiplayer with my cousins, but I can spend like half of my day just building in Minecraft
same.
if I have time.
I know. Like I don't have as much time as I used to. Um, but like my friends used to play multiplayer Minecraft. Like I'd be that what they would do is they would do like all the gathering of the resources and everything, and I'd just be like in our base, just like building it, and it was
Mm-hmm.
like the perfect setup.
Yeah, I've always been the builder.
Yes.
Nobody want.
Yeah.
They would all. They would also like always build those grass and dirt houses,
Yeah. Those.
and I've always hated that.
Oh, the
And they were
worst.
so
The worst.
disorganized.
Really
Yeah,
ugly.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Same.
So I was also I've always been the architect.
Same. Like the level that I was taking it to was in between each session that we would play, like I'd plan like basically I was building it in wings and like keeping saying, okay, this area is
Mm-hmm.
for this area is
Yeah,
for
yeah,
that.
yeah. Same.
And in between sessions, like I would open up like AutoCAD and I'd draw out like all the blocks and I'd be like, okay, this is going there, and then you draw it in
Mm-hmm.
elevation, and then like
Mm-hmm.
honestly taking it way too far, and I wish I had that kind of time now because I'd be literally if I could um well first off I joke all the time with my friends, if I could get past the part of where I doubt myself, like I'd be so much more productive.
Mm-hmm.
But like it for like the sake of this example, if I could get past that, I'd probably be putting out like 10 videos a week if I had that kind
Hmm.
of time.
Yeah, yeah. I actually like I've built so much more than there's in my page, but I have the same problem. Like, I like the build, but I don't know. I self doubt myself a lot, and then I
Yes.
just don't post it and keep
Yes.
it to
Yep.
myself.
Yep. 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 Yep.
It's very frustrating sometimes
I
because
can't.
like I
Yeah.
want to keep posting because
Yep.
I have a very nice audience.
Yes.
I actually made a lot of
I
friends
was gonna say,
in the community.
yeah, it is like, and it seems like a good group of people are sort of attracted to it, just like Minecraft at large. But even the people that watch my channel, it's just like I feel like it's a good group of people, and like you sort of I find that as I get older, you sort of attract the people that who is as long as like you put out there into the world who you are, you sort of attract someone who's similar.
Hmm.
And like people who I like their personalities, the reason like I watch anything online that anyone does, like you know video wise, photo wise, and like all of the other like Instagram pages that I follow and stuff like that. But I don't even know if I have Minecraft on my computer anymore. I gotta look into this.
Yeah, I also played The Sims a lot,
Oh,
but
I was just gonna say The Sims. Me too.
yeah, I play The Sims a lot. But I spend more time creating my
Same,
family
same.
than actually playing the game.
Yeah, I just wanted to
And
build the houses.
yeah, I like I like to build in The Sims too, but I don't know. I just prefer doing that in Minecraft.
Yeah, there is something about the visual style of Minecraft that it's just more
Yeah,
fulfilling.
yeah, because you're doing everything. The Sims has the tools that
Yes,
you can use and
yes.
all. Minecraft is just like you have an open space,
Minecraft, yeah,
blocks, and that's it.
it does feel a little bit more free and that there are more options available. I do enjoy that. I will say the funniest thing that ever happened to me on The Sims was there was this one house that I made from scratch, and I created a guy to live there. And
Hmm.
to unlock another achievement, I needed him to be better at mechanical stuff. So, like, as he's just living his life, the dishwasher breaks, and I'm like, oh, perfect. Like, this is sort of a win-win for me because I need my guy to repair it so he can unlock that next mechanical achievement. So he goes to repair the dishwasher and he gets electrocuted and
Yeah,
dies.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that.
And I'm like watching him
Yeah.
dying. I'm like, no, I put so much work. And then after that, I created another guy and made him live in the same house. And then the first guy who died in that house haunted him. And then he didn't want to live there. And I was like so distraught because I had spent so much
Hmm.
time and this guy doesn't want to do anything because he's being haunted. I mean, listen, I get it. I get it. Like, you don't want to just be haunted in your own house, but like, come
Hmm.
on, man, I spent so much time on
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I had a similar experience, but like, I spent so much time creating this sim with all the um, what is it? What is the name? Um, you know the mods that you
Yes.
can put
Yeah.
on the Sims that you can add different kinds of clothing, hairstyles, and all.
Yes.
And I spent so much time downloading all this stuff to create my sim, and like half an hour playing with him, and he dies. I was like, and I haven't saved the game. That was the worst
Oh
part. And I was like,
no.
I I swear to you, I think I spent like half a day planning,
Yeah,
like planning his personality, what he was gonna do. Um, I was
that
so frustrated. I just gave up playing that for like 2 months.
that that definitely tracks. I once I had the experience of where the guy like died, I was just like, that's it. I can't just like keep getting my heart broken by The Sims anymore.
Yes. And I actually, after that, I found a mod that it automatically saves your game.
Hmm.
Uh, it's kind of useful, but the problem is that The Sims has been having a lot of um, what's that called? Updates,
Yes.
and the mod, it takes a lot of time to update the mod, so
Hmm.
it's not like doesn't work very well for me.
Yeah, once you add like the complexity of the mods, you need time for the people who control them to like update the software to make them
Mm-hmm.
work. It is kind of annoying that way. I did put a mod pack on one of my Minecraft
Mm-hmm.
games.
Oh, I used to love playing with mod packs.
And then like this guy made this beautiful mod pack and it worked so well, and then they updated the game and then it took him like forever to update it, and it's just like
Mm-hmm.
after that I was just like, all right, I guess I'm back to like the vanilla. I mean, granted, and to be fair, like the vanilla style of the game has gotten much better over the years,
Mm-hmm.
but it still
Definitely.
could use a little bit of adjusting.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite mod?
I I did, but I forget exactly what it was called.
Can you describe it?
Basically, it would take the base textures of the game and make them slightly more realistic. So it wasn't like
Oh. Mm-hmm.
it also wasn't like too heavy on your computer because I did not have a good computer at the time. So any mod pack that I had to install like needed the ability to run on basically not such a great laptop. That
Mm-hmm.
thing that thing was a lap burner too. It was
Yeah.
it was this old Dell laptop that was horrible.
Same. Same. Yeah, I used to use a Dell laptop to play Minecraft too.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Oh my gosh.
I would play with like 20 FPS. It was
Yeah,
so bad.
I'd be lucky if I got to that. And like after I got rid of that computer, like um I'd be like, "Oh my goodness, the computer that I have now, it doesn't get hot in the same way." And then somehow I came across that those computers that I was using got recalled because when people were like they would like burst into flames on occasion, they got that hot. So I'm like, "Oh, like I mean, you also don't like know that like it was super dangerous and I didn't realize it, but it's also nice to know that like, oh, I'm not the only one who's having this problem with these laptops.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit of vindication. So to circle back, are you like actually like did you grow up in Brazil and then move over here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I've always lived in Brazil. This is my first time in the U.S. actually.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So did,
I've been to England before. When I was 14, took a. I was in a exchange program.
I like it.
I couldn't speak English very well at the time, but
Mhm.
and I also was in a group full of Brazilians. And the thing is, when Brazilians are together, we are gonna speak Portuguese. We
Yes.
don't care.
Yes, for sure.
And yeah, I couldn't learn a lot of English back then, but before the pandemic, I was 17 at the time, so beginning of uh, the
20
ending of, yeah, 2019
Has
and
it been that
2020.
long? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
The
Uh,
the
I
time is
I went to
splendid.
Canada.
Oh,
I went to Canada
yes.
and I was living there for like 2 months by myself.
Yes.
I went there alone, and I was living with a host family,
Yes.
and I was taking my English course. I actually got my certificate for English there.
That's awesome. So like then like obviously you're not in Canada any longer. Like you come over to the US and just like I don't know. I'm very like interested in that because like obviously I'm from here. Like
Hmm.
I could not be more looking, sounding, feeling like I'm from here. So like to like meet people who that hasn't always been the case just like fascinates me to no end. And like just to like give you like some insight, you know, I used to be more on the dating apps than I am now because they're apps. I don't know if you have any experience with the dating apps,
I
but it's
have no, I don't have. I've
horrific.
never. Yeah, I've
It's
never
horrific.
used them.
You're in like the perfect scenario right now where you don't need them. So definitely I would encourage you to actually go out and meet people and get to know them. But like um back before COVID.
This has been a reoccurring topic this week.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, because I was actually in a relationship back in Brazil like
Yes.
6 months ago, and I don't know, like I'm in a completely different environment.
Mhm.
Uh, I actually want to focus on my studies. That's why I came here.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I haven't been thinking about trying to meet people in that way.
I get that. I mean, obviously it's your life and you can do whatever you want, but like
Uh huh.
just as someone who's a little bit older and like knows like a little bit like what happens next of like if you are thinking about it and you're interested in meeting people in that way, like there is never going to be like a better time to like have people
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah, yeah. That's what I've been hearing from a lot of people.
yeah. I mean, again, like you have to be like in that frame of mind for it to like work. And like I know myself, like at that age I was very also like, oh, I'm here, you know, I'm also here to focus on my studies and like I have this thing that I want to pursue and we'll see like where everything sort of falls into place. But like for me now, um like being on the apps is just like convenience essentially. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I work 40 hours a week. I work on this channel about 40 hours a week, so it's like having two jobs to start off with. And then like on top of that, like I want to have time where I can see my friends and hang out. So it's just like where does that other portion fall into place?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, I get that.
So my like when I would meet like people from Brazil, like it would always be like, haha, I know you speak Portuguese and not Spanish.
Yeah, that's actually I will say that that's
it's a
good for you
it's a
because
good
we
icebreaker.
a lot of people get really mad
Hmm.
when Americans say like they they try to speak Spanish with us and we are like that's not our language.
Yes.
And there's also like especially if you're more from the south or southeast of Brazil, which is where I come from, we have this very we have there's a rivalry between Brazilians and Argentinians
I am
because of
familiar.
soccer.
Yep.
Yeah, because of soccer, and like if you try to speak Spanish to this kind to this Brazilian people, they will probably think you're making fun
Yep.
of this rivalry because of soccer.
Yep.
I'm not very into soccer,
I'm
by the
not
way.
like I know nothing about soccer, but like one thing about soccer. So I know about the offside rule, how like you can't have in someone on offense past the last defender, but no one has like I've met several people who have been into soccer and I've yet to meet someone who can adequately explain to me why that's not a
Same.
good strategy to then have like if it were me and I was a coach, I'd be like, yo, like to my defender, I probably wouldn't be so casual with him because we'd be like have a nice like mentor mentee relationship.
Mm-hmm.
and like I'd want to like mentor this person, but if I was a coach, I'd be like, listen, stay all the way down the field near the goalie, and when we get the ball, we will just like kick it all the way down the field to you, and you'll just have a shot on goal with like no defenders. I
Mm-hmm.
don't understand the offside rule at all, because to me, it's just like if you plant a guy down there for the entire game, it just seems like a good strategy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, no, I get it. Like my father, he loves soccer.
Mm-hmm.
All my cousins love soccer. Most of my friends love soccer, and none of them. And as a Brazilian, I feel like I failed uh, in this aspect of my culture because I come from this like Brazil is
Very up on
notorious,
soccer.
no, yeah, for soccer, and I can understand it.
I mean, it is the number one sport in the world, but like, I don't know. There's just something about soccer that I don't connect with, which is weird because I do like watching hockey, and hockey and soccer, the strategy is essentially the same. It's just in
Mm-hmm.
soccer you can't go behind the goal like you can in hockey. So I don't know why, like I haven't been able to square for me why I can just like watch games of like the same strategy. It's just they're on skates versus running around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like. I really like volleyball. I feel like it's easier to understand what's
Yes.
happening. Um,
But also like I think like the sport like volleyball in general, it's such like in a confined space. It's like you see the ball coming so fast, you're like, oh my goodness, what are they gonna do?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
how are
yeah,
they gonna
yeah.
handle that?
Mm-hmm. I used to play volleyball in high school.
I would play like in gym class and I always enjoyed it, but like in high school, I played baseball for a while. Like I know I don't look like it, and I'd agree with you, but I played center field for a while and really, I'll tell me, okay, so I don't want to put like words in your mouth, but for me, sports were very good because, like, as someone who was anxious all the time, it gave me a set of things that I had to focus on, and everything else could kind of fade out. Like, for example, like if I'm in center field and there's a guy on third base, I go, okay, he's on third base. I know that there's one out. If there is, a pop fly to the outfield in front of me, here's what I'm going to do. If it's behind me, here's what I'm going to do. Okay, who am I throwing it to? Um, you know, if it comes to me, what's the play essentially? And it's not like I have to be also worried about like, for example, like what I worry a lot about, especially back in those days, were like, what is the future gonna be like? Like I don't have to have that program running, and I can just be like,
Mm-hmm.
we're playing a game of baseball, and I only have to do these set of three or four things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
So maybe it was volleyball for you. It was kind of like the same experience that way. It just like
Mm-hmm.
clears the mind in a way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I used to play. Yeah, I'm a very short person, so yeah, I couldn't be on the front line
Yes.
to defend, so I would always be the center.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it was a very good sport to focus on because I only had one job. I had to catch the ball.
Yes.
That's all.
Do a little bump and then get it up in the air.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was my only move that I could do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't play volleyball anymore. I think it's yeah, mainly because I got into college.
Yes.
And another thing is that I actually did 1 year of college in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, I'm a sophomore, but officially, I'm a first year because I dropped my
I,
previous
I
college
gotcha.
and applied here as a first year again.
I gotcha. Was it a different program and you decided to do something else?
It was no, it was actually biochemical engineering. But the thing is that I had a lot of reasons to leave Brazil. My university was very good, actually. I used to study in the like best university of Brazil,
Hmm.
which is University of São Paulo.
I
The thing
even
is
I've
that
heard of that actually. That's
yeah,
I do know it's a good school.
yeah. But my campus, the thing is that the school is so big that
Hmm.
we are divided by campuses around the state of
Hmm.
São Paulo. So I didn't study in São Paulo. I was studying in a different city because the campus was there, and it was a campus with only engineering students. Um,
Oh my goodness.
and I don't know, just the environment
Yeah.
with only engineering students.
I know where you're going with this. I
Yeah,
yes.
I don't know. I really love engineering. I mean, this is my major, but I also like to get to explore other
Yes.
fields,
Yes.
and I didn't really have this option in Brazil.
There is something also about engineering that's very set in stone and not able to be manipulated. That originally I was leaning a little bit in minoring in engineering, and then it was just like you sort of realize how like it's it's a specific way, and like if I already have like that reaction to computer coding, like it's not going to be good for me, and I'm going to go insane.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, definitely. And that's why we don't really have minors in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you to get into a university in Brazil, you don't choose the university, you choose the course.
Interesting. I did not know
So,
that.
yeah, I had to take an entrance exam, and my entrance exam was for engineering. So,
Right.
uh, we have two levels of the test. In the first level, you have to study for everything. So, math, science, literature,
Mm-hmm.
Portuguese, even English, because
Yes.
we learn English, basic English in high school.
Yes.
But the second level of the test is very specific for the field you want to study. So it's only for me, since it was biomedical engineering, it was math, chemistry, and biology, which was good for me because these are my like
Yes. That's like
my
the
best.
bedrock of.
Yeah, and they're also my favorite subjects. They have always been. Uh, but I don't know. It's so much better to like. I didn't know what I wanted to do exactly. I knew I wanted to be a researcher in in the STEM field,
Yes.
but I also really like it sociology, Brazilian history.
Mm-hmm.
And my problem was that I loved everything.
Yep.
And surprisingly, my least favorite subject in high school was Portuguese.
I understand where you're coming from with that though. It
Mm-hmm.
does kind of make sense because English for me was definitely not my favorite, but like math,
Yeah.
I am horrible at math.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like
I love math.
geometry for me was the only one that I understood, but like
Mm.
algebra, it's just like you might as well be teaching me in like Chinese at the same time because I don't
I
understand.
tried to learn Chinese one time, and it was really bad.
I just
I
my
love reading Chinese novels, uh, but not in Chinese,
yes,
obviously. I get the English translations.
yes. My mind cannot handle like there's so many different like letters, and like the alphabet is I mean obviously the alphabet is different in a lot of languages, but there's I feel like Chinese in particular is one of those where like when you're a kid like you really need to learn it because it's so complex, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just like if you don't have any reference to like how other languages are, you can sort of take that in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I was actually lucky because Since my family has this kind of very mixed background, we always my great grandmother, she always wanted her kids to at least learn a second language.
Yeah, that's
So
smart.
for my grandmother, she chose French. My one of my aunts chose English. My mom chose Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to learn Italian now because since half of my family is it comes from Italy,
Right.
and I actually can understand Italian. It's not that hard for me.
Right. It's the sort of the cross pollination of hearing it for a while and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
putting the pieces
Mm-hmm.
together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's easier for me, like the way that my mind works with that.
Yes.
Uh, I don't know, it's just not surprising to see how the language works because you kind of have an idea.
Mm-hmm. Like you're not there. From what I understand, one of my friends was learning Italian, and it seems like very logical and sort of
Mm-hmm.
in English we have all of these different, obviously I've been learning English since I was born, so like it's not weird to me, but from what I understand is like there's so many little different rules that we have that make no sense objectively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in part we have those many actually many of the grammar structures from English are similar to Portuguese.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that changes is the order of the words, I
Right.
guess. But the thing is that in Portuguese, um, it's really hard to explain because semantics in Portuguese is a very it's like a big thing.
Oh,
You can
semantics.
make you can make any word sound differently
Mm-hmm.
uh, from the way that you build the structure of a phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. It's just hard to explain. I don't even like. I wasn't very good at semantics and grammar uh, during high school, but I really like to write.
Yes.
My teachers considered me a good writer, but I'm not a very good. I'm not. Uh, I'm not very into poetry,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not the kind to write very like poetical things. I see myself as a more logical writer. I
Yeah.
like to write descriptions of things and to explain concepts.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Something that has more of a black and white ideology.
yeah,
I gotcha.
yeah, something more
I
logical.
feel that. Fairly. I'm good at writing, but I don't really enjoy it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, there are times where I sort of can get into the mindset to enjoy it, but like, I do wish there was a way of where you could say, okay, what are the things that I actually want to get, like, be good at, and like can choose them sort of like what you're going to be good at naturally, instead
Mm-hmm.
of just like, oh, I really am good at writing, but I don't like that. What can I do with it? Well, nothing,
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I used to like writing more in high school,
mm-hmm.
but I think it's because I had to write so many like personal statements and all of that to apply to college that I just got
I'm
I
having
don't know
I'm having
like
flashbacks right
I'm done
now
with that.
of all
Yeah,
of the college essays that I had to write and how horrible it was.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, I like just the other day I had a dream where I had to get into like a final exam and I woke up late and it was already over and I'm like, "No." And then I woke up and it was like on a Monday and I'm like, "Oh, oh, good. Oh, good. That wasn't real, but I do actually have to go to work. So let's like, revisit this mentally later and then we'll see."
Mhm.
I don't know, just their college, like tests in college for me like took it up to the next level. Um
Yeah.
because there's something
Mm-hmm.
that's very easy about high school and you can just kind of coast through it, but then when it comes to the next step of actually learning things that are going to help you in a career, like obviously I take it more
Mm-hmm.
seriously and it needs like more attention.
Mm-hmm. I feel like high school education in Brazil is very different from the US because we actually have to learn everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't have different levels for classes. Like we don't have you have AP classes here.
We do.
We don't really have that. Everyone is in the same level for
Mm-hmm.
maths, so you have to learn from the basics to the more advanced topics.
Yes.
I don't really like it, but
I
for the way that our entrance exams work for university, uh, there's no other way
yeah,
we can do that.
I can kind of see, like, I mean, obviously with any system that you have there are certain advantages and disadvantages to it. It would be interesting to see, like, if that would work for us, because um I don't know, I've always felt like education here is just like there's just got to be a better way,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
especially
Yeah.
when you're coming out from like elementary school to high school. Once you get to college, I think like universities have figured it out a little bit better, but even
Mm-hmm.
still. But let's see, what other sounds. I have not used my booster box at all yet. So let's see.
We need to try my notebook. Where is it now? Oh, it's holding my iPad, so it's not. I can't use that. But it has a very nice. I think you can hear the sound though.
Oh, I hear it.
Yeah, it has
Is it
some
like
kind
that
of
plastic cover?
synthetic. No, it's synthetic leather
Oh,
or
I gotcha.
something. It has a very nice texture, and I really like the sound.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a really good sound. I think that might be it. That's the best sound so far, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
Like
it's my favorite sound actually. But it makes me sleepy actually. And every time I'm in math classes, and I like I open my notebook and I start to do this sound, and I'm like, okay, I have to stop because I'm
uh,
gonna sleep here.
I mean, math class already starts to put me into a little bit of a sleepy mood, but then if that was on top of it, I would just
Hmm.
like you'd hear my head hitting the table.
I don't blame maths. I blame the fact that I couldn't transfer my credits,
Mhm.
because I've already taken every calculus I had to take, but I have to take it all over again here.
Mhm.
So I know this stuff, um, and I'm like, it's very frustrating to have to see it all over again.
I I definitely understand what you're saying. There is something to that. I think we'll start to wind down in just a second because I have like taken up significantly more of your time than I thought I would.
No, yeah, it's fine. I actually have. What time is it? Yeah, I have another meeting at like 5:30.
Okay, I got you. I was gonna say like I just looked at the clock and I had not. I like it.
Yeah,
It
I didn't
doesn't.
realize we were talking for that amount of
It
time.
did not feel like we were, so I was very
Yeah.
surprised. So
There the bells goes again.
yeah, there it is again. So let's see. I don't know. I don't know exactly how we'll end, but let's see. Anything that you'd like to see on the channel request wise?
I don't know. Um, I think your style is definitely like my favorite style for ASMR videos. Um,
I appreciate that. I feel like I do have a very particular way that I do it, which is just
Mm-hmm.
wildly chaotic, and then somehow I bring it in.
Yeah, no, I like it. I really like it. Um, but also, I don't know. You do a lot of um. Actually, you don't do a lot of specific. You have some very good hand sounds videos.
I could do I
Actually, one of your my favorite ASMR video ever is one of your oldest videos.
Oh, really?
Your hand sounds videos
That's a shocker.
video. Yeah,
That
yeah. I don't remember the name now.
I
I just remember that you had longer hair.
Oh yeah, my hair was out of control back in.
And it's at some point in the video you start talking about the traffic sounds and there's a plane
Oh
in the
yeah,
background. Uh
I
and
think
I've watched this video so many times that I know exactly when the plane sound is gonna come.
I think
It's
that I appreciate the compliment. I have videos that are the same for me, where like I watch them and I know like um there's this one video by do you know It's Blitz, Julia's channel?
yes, she's also one of my favorite
Um
ASM artists.
it's her role play where I forget exactly what it's called, but basically it's about an hour long, and she's
Uh-huh.
kind of going through like the conceit of the video is that it's basically a service that gets you ready for bed,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
I know that video.
I can go like I've almost memorized like the entire video, and it's like 51 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, yeah, I know exactly
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Oh, actually, I do have a request.
Yeah, what do you got?
Do more of the fabric sounds
That's so
because I love it.
That's so
Yeah.
funny. I was actually lining up a new fabric sounds video again.
Oh, it's nice.
So I'll put that more on the front burner because
Yeah, yeah. I really like fabric sounds.
I do appreciate you taking the time to come on here and actually record this episode. So I want to like
Mm-hmm.
do something.
Mm-hmm.
So fabric sounds. I have a couple of pillows, and I do have some things in mind actually that I think would be good. Um, so we can do that, but otherwise, I will actually let. I'm sure you have other things to do, but I appreciate you coming on and talking. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we could set this up. But anyway,
Yeah, sure. That was really nice, actually.
yeah, it's just like it is nice to like talk to people and sort of just like just under the umbrella of maybe making sounds together that just I think I don't know, I'm very relaxed right now, which is
Mm-hmm.
talking to someone that I haven't talked to before is very rare for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
it was nice.
I really enjoyed this episode, and I will let you get to actually living your life. And
Yeah, yeah.
I think we'll end it here. So I appreciate you
Mm-hmm.
coming on, and
Yeah, thank you.
I will talk to you very soon.
Yeah, sure.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Preston. Bye. Have a good rest of the day.
You too. Um, Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.